Peace family. So I'm back with another one. Today what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk to my chosen ones about how allowing people to complain in your space will hurt and lower your vibration. And I think we all understand this to a certain degree. But what happens is a lot of us want to be comforting. You know, we want to be good listeners. We want to be good peers. We want to be good sons, daughters. We want to be all of these above things to the ones around us. And if you ever notice when you're around a complainer or someone who just complains consistently, a lot, just never puts a solution on there unless it's some la-la land solution. So when you find yourself in a space and you're around or dealing with people who complain and it's affecting your vibration, usually you don't even know that it's affecting your vibration unless they are not taking the information you're giving them, or they just been complaining so long that you can physically feel it sucking and pulling the life force and the energy out of you. Dealing with people and beings who are in this space, you have to understand how to shut things down, how to put blocks, walls up. It's a entourage of things you have to collectivize in order to keep your energy balanced when you are engaging with these kind of beings. And for me, complainers are just as bad as people who enjoy future faking. Future faking to me is another form of lying. They just put future faking on it. So it's like if I tell somebody, yeah, in 10 years I want to be, have my, I don't know, let's say I want to be driving buses or something, you know what I'm saying? Let's say 5 years, 10 years, a year I need my CDLs. Or let's say 5-10 years I want to be on a house, on some land. If I don't have no means, no starting point, no midway point, but we know about the end point, there's really no clear direction as into how you would get to your end goal. So these is some of them things that kind of we deal with on a regular basis that kind of affects our energy, that we just kind of brush past. And because we know of other methods to keeping our energy balanced or keeping it up to a certain power where we would like it at, we just don't put as much emphasis on it, you know. Complaining, we put more emphasis on than future faking, which you could say future faking is lying. You know, it just goes hand in hand. If you faking, then you're not being organic, you know what I mean? So that's lying to a degree. So for me, when I put myself in these spaces or around these beings, for one, I have to turn my frequency and tune it to the right pitch. You know, I don't want to have my frequency too high, but I also don't want to have my frequency as low as where they're at. I don't need to meet them at their starting point or at the point that they're at. For me, when I get into them spaces with people who are future fakers, liars, and complainers, it puts me in a space of understanding that, for one, these beings are not using the same playbook as me. For two, I'm one of them beings who, when ideas and stuff start to circulate and shape form in my spiritual realm, I try to figure out how can I apply that in my real lifetime immediately. I start figuring out where I could take steps to apply that. So, like for me, when I was telling people, like I wanted to do the Godcast, I had my starting point, I had my midway points, and I had the end goal lined up for it. You know what I mean? And I could name numerous of situations of other things to where it just hit my spiritual realm, and it's like, yo, we have the power to manifest immediately. We have the power to manifest later on down the road. So if it's something that I'm really putting my energy into, then I'm gonna make sure that I can bring it to light in the best manner possible. Now, of course, when you out here operating this realm, it's not always going to be in the best light right away that you may want it in. You know what I mean? So for me, it's kind of like when I manifested going viral with the Tatiana beat, and before that I had went viral with the Young Dolph beat, just doing remakes, and they don't even do beat challenges anymore. So it was like a weird, awkward time, you know what I mean? But the moral of that point was, I focused my energy in a space to where there was no other way that it wasn't gonna happen, because my thoughts was vibrating and creating that energy around me, and I was sending out the message to the universe. Look at the trees kind of like landlines or electric lines, you know. Vibration travels through these trees, whether it's through the top source of it, you know, the leaves, the branches, or whether it's traveling through the roots, you know, but the information travels. A lot of people don't want to make it seem like life is that simple. It really is. We just live in a demonic time to where the most simplest things and the most obvious things and the most common knowledge and common sense things are pushed to the back burner. It's kind of like every civilization before us believed that the earth was, you know, not a ball of water. I don't want to call it flat. I'm gonna say not a ball of water, because I'm right here on a hill, so technically this isn't flat. But when people say flat, what we mean and what they mean by flat is meaning that it's not a ball of water. You're not gonna walk to beyond South America and then you start walking down the bottom of the ball of water, you know what I'm saying? Because the bottom of South America kind of loops around the side and down below. You know what I mean? And you don't have a such thing as an equator. They gave us everything in reverse. So, and I'm getting off subject because that's what it kind of does to us. Everything is in reverse. So all the countries that they claim are higher up above us are colder. Canada, Alaska, Russia, all of these are colder. In real lifetime, going based off the creator, it would have to go another way looking at their maps. Because even looking at their maps, when you look at their maps, we are going this way, the sun is going this way. But even the hottest areas still would be higher up. I'm just big into this duality thing, and I understand that they flip a lot of things on us. And I just use the corporate and the systematic analogies because sometimes those register a little bit better. Even if you don't believe in it or not, I know a lot of people believe in the ball of water. That's not even the point of this subject right now. That's just dealing with the fact that if the system is willing to lie and to tweak our energy and do these things, then we should have to understand the people around us, their children, are going to be doing the same thing. So when I'm engaging with people who have the tendency of doing a lot of complaining and being where I'm at in my space where I'm at now in this journey, depending on who they are, depending on how much complaining time they get, how long they get to complain, if I take any of the complaints, you know what I'm saying, how fast I bring solutions to the table, ideas to the table, all of these go hand to hand. So yes, every situation may be different, right? But for the bulk part of it, most of the trees are feeding and drinking the same way, even if they are different. So as humans, spiritual beings having a human experience, we still have a core base that we follow why we have survived and still here in this realm. So even the demonic ones even understand that, which is why they operate a certain way. And yes, they're pushing robots to try to get us all up out of here and blah, 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 whatever the case may be. But when you're dealing with people who complain and lying with the future faking, you have to understand like how effective that is on your energy. Most people don't even realize until after they're already away from somebody. Like, people complaining, and from my life experiences, when I allow beings to still go, or I allow them to do it too long, usually sometime throughout that day, I have a little bit of fear that starts hitting my body. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying like, oh, I run around scared, but what I'm saying is I could be doing something, driving somewhere, cooking something, figuring something out, and then all of a sudden like this wave of fear just hit me. Now, if I wasn't being engaged with these future fakers or complainers, that gray area, that confusion stuff, that demonic stuff that comes attached behind what they're saying, it wouldn't be presenting itself to me or trying to cling to me. When I don't have those engagement with those kinds of beings, you still get waves of fear because we are prisoners to this system, you know what I'm saying, right now, until we collectivize. You still get little waves of fear, but you'll realize how much more frequent the waves of fear hit you and the self-doubt hits you when you engage with these beings. Even if you know you in a higher position, a better position, damn, wind is going crazy. Even if you know these things, they've been cutting grass, the wind has been blowing. I almost didn't even take on this film right now because it's going a little crazy. If it's a little too loud, it's because they cut grass all around me, and it was no other solutions for it, and now the wind is gonna start trying to blow the tripod over. You know what I mean? So these are just some of the stipulations I gotta deal with filming outside, man. This is I'm just keeping this steady. So what I actually can do is hold this up. It doesn't matter. When that wind start busting, man, it's not anything you can do. That's why most people film inside where they got studio space where it's more comfortable and convenient for them at. But I'm an outdoors being. I'm gonna continuously shoot my shot. Y'all just gonna fuck with me the way it is, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't want to present myself to the world, to people around me, any other way than as me, as being organic. You know what I'm saying? Even if you don't like it, it's still me being organic. So I'm okay with you not liking it, just like a lot of us are. You know what I'm saying? But the complaining and the future faking does affect your energy throughout your day. So if somebody complains to you at 8 a.m. and you fix your energy for 9, 10, 11 o'clock, usually between 12 and 5 or somewhere later in the evening, once your spirits get to settle a little bit, or once your thoughts are able to not be dictated or controlled by your environment, it's usually some kind of little subtle pressure that comes through, you know, because complaining and future faking isn't light energy. It's not light energy, you know what I mean? So we use complaining as a word, but it's another way of just putting out negative vibrations. Complaining is another way of putting out a negative vibration, you know what I mean? So we want to be more mindful of what's actually happening when we are using these throat chakras, when we're projecting this energy, when we're doing a lot of things in these spaces that we just take as nonchalantly or just as a lot more subtle than we normally would, you know what I mean? So I just would tell everybody to be more adamant and be more mindful about how you allow and how often you allow people to complain to you. You know what I'm saying? Be mindful of your energy after you intake that, because it's a transfer. It's usually not a transmute. You know what I'm saying? But they getting closer and it's getting louder. Tap into everything down below. Peace and love to the kings and queens.